So being on a rainy day today, I really wanted to take this moment in regards to talk about lions, and let's head to my office before it gets really noisy and there's air in the background. I'll talk to you about it. I'm back in my office. I want to make this video today and talk about my favorite species, the African lion, the king of the jungle. King of beasts. Tanner. The reason why they're known as King of the Beast is because that roar can expand up to about 5 miles, 6 miles widespread. That's 10 kilometers. They're known as King of the Jungles because that big mane. It looks like a crown but acts as a shield. It helps protect themselves when they get into a little dispute, especially with rivals. Male lions coming to encroach into their territory and take over the pride. It looks like a crown but acts as a shield. It ranges between around the neck, the chest, the underarms, the abdomen, and behind the shoulder blades, and it gets really long. That is due to a sign of hormonal change. And just like with human beings, with males, when we go through our hormonal changes at our teenage years, the same thing happens with male lions. What happens is that they start growing this faux hawk. It's literally at the top of their head, and then it branches out all over their body. It's thick, it's coarse, and so lions' fur coat is something different. It's nothing compared to like a tiger's fur coat in the wintertime. That's really soft and fluffy. It feels really good compared to a lion's mane is just thick, wiry, and the regular fur coat on the body is really short, thick hair. It's tough. And lions secrete an oil that helps keep the flies away. So when you're petting them and all that, your hands literally turn pitch black. Luckily, my hands are pretty clean as it is. Got to keep your hands clean during these COVID times so you don't pass on the germs. But anyways, lions secrete this oil. It's used to kind of help deter the flies away. So lions being also the second biggest cat in the world, a big male usually, depending on the individual, a male and a female, but a male can get up to about 500, maybe even more, maybe even just under 600 pounds. They can get quite big, and that's the second biggest cat in the world. The first biggest is the Moor tiger, but we're not talking about tigers. That's for the next video. We're talking about lions. And so a female can get up to about over 300 pounds. Now that's big for a female. Now it is true the females do most of the hunting. Males do help out. They help out when they're around the pride mates when it comes to a hunt. But most of the time the males are going to be found wandering their territory, letting either rival male lions know, or other lions in general, doesn't have to be males, and this is their territory. They mean business. They'll mark their scents all over trees, dirt. They also are able to secrete oil out of their talons, so when they kick up the dirt, when they mark, it's also helping with the marking of the territory. The males in a group together, they form that brotherhood when they're cubs. They keep that bond with them all the way up until the rest of their lives, most likely. They don't have to be related. They just have to grow up together. And usually they are related, in the wild. But in the captive environment, you put two and two together and they're able to form that bond. So I added this clip in to just provide an example. I have two young adolescent male lions here that grew up together. They formed that coalition, that brotherhood, since cubs. Now, are they related? No, they are not related. They just formed that relationship between one another through cubs. And now cubs, the biggest thing is that for cubs, they are not mature. They're cubs. They're babies. They're growing up. They're dependent is the biggest word. So they rely on each other, the boisterous young adolescent male lions, and they seek each other's attention and watch out for each other. Anyways, that would be known as a coalition, a bachelor group, and that usually ranges between 2 individuals, maybe even 4, or even 6. Now 6 is rare. It has been seen in the wild coalition group known as the Mapogos all over YouTube, by the way. Now that was a coalition of 6. They were able to defend their territory and their pride mates pretty much the longevity of their entire lives. What male lions do is they defend their territory at all costs. Their territory can be huge, square miles. So if another one encroaches, they'll roar. That's why the lions are known as king of the jungles, because they roar. They're letting the lions know that this is their territory, not just lions. Other predators like leopards, cheetahs, and hyenas, that this is their territory. They mean business, and also wild dogs. That lets them know that this is their territory. They mean business. They'll do whatever it takes to defend their pride mates at all costs. But when they're around, the pride, when it comes to hunting, they will definitely help, because being a bigger specimen, a male can get over 500 pounds. Their brute strength is very important when it comes to hunting water buffalo, giraffe, elephant. The bigger guys is usually when it gets desperate, when it comes to the drought season. And that's in the wintertime in Africa. I've been there. So everything literally just becomes dry. There's no rain. The prey species have gone. And also, when cubs reach adolescent ages, they are dependent from here on up to about 2 years, 2.5 years. And when the males start going through their hormonal changes, just like us humans do, the father of the pride notices that. Due to the hormonal changes, the young males will want to assert their dominance to the pride mates, even probably want to breed with his natal group. So the adult male lion, the big chief, the father comes in, establishes his dominance over the young males, and completely kicks them out. He chases them away from the pride. The younger females usually end up staying with the primates, or they'll leave, even be kicked out by the mothers. They'll form their own natal pride. And the males will completely leave with their brothers or by themselves. Those lay low till they'll feel confident enough to be able to establish their own territory, take over a pride, or form their own pride for themselves. It's usually between their primal ages, which ages is usually between 5 to even 10. Now, a lion's longevity in wild is not as high as it is for cats in captive environment, because it's the wild, not like in a captive environment. We do regular checkups on the daily. We provide food and water for them and shelter on the daily, but it's the wild, so they have to fend for themselves, obviously. That's just why they're not able to make it as long as animals in captive environment, but they can go up to about 14 years, 16 years in a wild environment, depending on how successful they are. And so they're really the only social true cat around. Cheetahs, on the other hand, they, just like lions, male cheetahs, form a coalition, but we're not talking about cheetahs, we're talking about lions. We're getting off topic. Lions are the truly social big cat in the world. So a pride can have up to about quite a few. It ranges between, I would say, 8, 10 to even 20, maybe even 30, and that's just consisting of females, youngsters. Now, a female can have up to about 5 individuals in each litter. And not all, they're always successful, but because they have so many individuals in a litter, and so a pride usually consists of females, adolescents, and cubs, and 1 to 4 males in that pride. So they can get quite a bit. Lions are really tactile animals.
Hi, girls. Down you go.
They groom one another. That's how they form their bonds. They play or are always beside each other. When the males are away from the females, they'll roar and help let them know where they're at, so to let them know their location of each other, and not just to let predators and other rival lions know that this is their territory. It's also used to establish their location. Amazing animals. Now, lions are on the IUCN Red List. They are threatened. They are an endangered species. It keeps declining to this point of day. And in Africa, it is legal, because it is considered a job, to trophy hunt. So that is why, not just with captive lions, but with wild lions as well. So they pay big money, and it takes about $20,000, even $50,000 US, and that's quite a bit of money in the South African dollar, which is known as the rand. So that equivalents up to about 100,000, 150,000 rand. So that's quite a bit, and that's why it's legal, is because it's considered a job. But when it comes to trophy hunting and canned hunting, human encroachment and habitat loss are huge reasons why lions and other species is around us when it comes to human encroachment and habitat loss. That when we take over their environment, almost every population decreases. So we got to think about that too. And that's why it's important, and I really want to take this time to speak to you guys about lions. In other videos in the future, not just lions, we're talking about other different variety of species of animals, because it's important. Love to be able to provide a voice for these animals, because it's educating the public and showing a different aspect of these animals. To you guys, it is really important, so you guys can also grow love towards these species. So anyways, I hope you guys liked the video. If you like my channel is going to be roughly about my career, my hobby, my life in general, and my day in the life of Brandon, me. So if you like the video, comment, subscribe, like, share, hit me up on my social media platforms, and Instagram is probably one of my #1. I'll throw those in the descriptions below. Cheers, guys.